I think it's recording. Okay. So work priorities. Uh, you can. There's two. There's auto priority. There's like it's not like auto priorities or whatever. But it's when you turn this off, and you have this. This is a mess, right? This is like what is this? You have to like manually click off, this and that. You can just. I'm gonna recommend this manual priorities. I'm gonna show you how to use it. So what's gonna happen is it's gonna go from left to right, and also from 1 to 4. Firefight is the first, like, they're basically like let's say a pawn wants to do something, like a pawn is gonna is the tick happens and a pawn checks for what she wants to do. First thing she's gonna check for is there any fires? Okay, there's no fires. Next thing is there a patient? Next thing is, does anyone need any rescuing? Does anyone need any healing? Does she need to bed rest? So on and so forth. It goes from left to right. What I recommend is having these first, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 priorities set to 1, because these are all important. If you don't have the allow tool mod, you won't have Hall Plus, so don't worry about that. But the rest of these 7, I mean, are high priority tasks, so always have them set to 1. Oh, and if you have the the biotech DLC, you want childcare. So, but these 6, firefighting, patient rescue, doctor, bed rest, and basic, all need to be at 1, because they're very important. They don't happen that often either. But when there's an emergency, you'll want to have them be like first priority. The next thing is warden. Warden is like you're feeding your prisoners, you're interrogating them, you're trying to recruit them, etc. And this should be set to 2, even if they're low social pawns, because the low social pawns will still feed the prisoners. Manager you can ignore because you probably don't have colony manager redux, but set this as to 1 if you do have that. Handles all the animals. I recommend having everyone set to 4. Except for your high animals people, set them to 2. The reason why we don't set them to 1 is because, let's say you really, really need wood. You want to set this to 1 and have it immediately, like, go to wood, right? If this was set to like 1 and then 1, but you really need wood, they have to go through treating prisoners and then go through handling the animals and all this, and it doesn't really work out that well, right? You want to save 1 for either high priority tasks or emergencies. Entertainment is from hospitality, it's not worried about that. Cooking is pretty obvious, it's cooking like stuff. It's also brewing liquors and like, let's see. Yeah, just brewing liquors. Hunting is pretty obvious, so this is a 3. If you want to like set something low priority, you can set to 4. If you have a mod, you just the number of priorities, you can also do it too, but 4 priorities is good enough, usually. Fishing, don't worry about that. Constructing, I recommend everyone be on construction, but have your high construction skills onto what people that you want to train up for construction. You want to use you want to have everyone set to 4, unless if you really, really don't want to do something. Because if they're like done with all their tasks, their normal tasks, they'll loop around and they'll do whatever's left to right. So let's say Imogen is done crafting, right? And smithing and tailoring, she's gonna loop back around and try to hunt. And then if she can't hunt anything, she'll try to go for hauling. And if she can't haul, she'll loop back around and she'll go into handling, and then she'll go back to entertaining or fishing. By the time you even get to like these 4 tasks, there's probably not a whole lot of stuff you need to do, so you don't need to worry about it. The 2 is like what you like basically want to pause and focus on. 3 is like maybe you want them to be do it as secondary priority, and 4 is just whatever, right? Just fill it in so you don't not standing around looking around. I recommend setting all your cleaning stuff to 4 unless you want a dedicated cleaner. Because cleaning is a very like a very intensive task. If you have a pond set to cleaning, they'll just be cleaning forever, basically. Especially as you get to like a bigger base. You can alleviate this by managing your home area, but I'll go over that like in a later video. Hauling, I recommend having a set of 3, but honestly, this can be whatever. These tasks at the end are very high intensive stuff like research. If you have a pond to research, they research like forever, basically. You know, it's like a hauling or this nuclear stuff. Don't worry about this. That's from atomics, and don't worry about the sacrifice. That's Revia stuff. So yeah, that's priorities. It's not too bad, but it's a lot better. I highly recommend this system over this auto system. This is a mess, and you'll be like opening this window. If you set this to like this, you'll be going back to this screen a lot. Especially once you get like 10 pawns or 12 pawns or whatever.